Raindog 308. In Going Clear, the question is raised if David Miscavige is a true believer. The answer in the documentary was that he has to be, because it's all he's ever known and his entire life is integrated into the church. From what I have read in critics' books, LRH was constantly auditing himself and raving about body thetans, so to some extent he was a true believer as well, though obviously both men are sociopathic charlatans. Do you agree with this view on Miscavige? And second, do you think it explains why there's been no more OT material released? Last cover story I heard was that all orgs had to be the size of the old St. Hill org, which is obviously never going to happen, hence no pressure to release. If Miscavige truly believes LRH was a visionary, then perhaps he's reluctant to release anything Hubbard didn't author. Otherwise, writing a few more levels worth of bad science fiction and checklists wouldn't be that hard, and he could continue to herd sheep up the bridge. Yeah, this has been a tough question because I've actually gone a little back and forth on this, but I've maintained the idea that Miscavige, more so than not, I've maintained the idea that he is not really a full true believer in Scientology. And I think that's because of his material excesses and because he doesn't use Scientology and he doesn't follow Scientology principles in what he does in dealing with his juniors and dealing with the organization as a whole. For example, he does not enforce that the Sea Org members go up the Scientology bridge. Now, if it's, and this is fairly simple logic, if you believed in Scientology and you believed that by going up this bridge to total freedom and becoming OT, that you were going to have a group of people, if you got all those people moved up the levels all the way to the top, that you were going to have an army of super beings, right, available to you, and they were at your beck and call to do what you wanted them to do in applying Scientology and bringing Scientology to the world. If you believed in that, then wouldn't it make sense that the most core group of people, the hardcore 24/7 full-time workers that you had under you, wouldn't they be the first people that you would be working to get up that bridge and, man up your orgs, work for the cause, because they'd be super beings and they'd be so much more causative and able and able to make things happen, right? Because let's face it, Scientology is a pretty small group, and if they're going to achieve their goals of clearing the planet, they need to get a move on, right? So that would be one of the first things you would do, and it's well within all of Hubbard's policies and writings to do exactly what I just described. Hubbard was all about get people up the bridge, including our staff. So the fact that Miscavige has been putting huge roadblocks in the way of getting people up this bridge indicates to me that he doesn't believe in it. He doesn't believe in the cause. He doesn't believe in the technology or its how much it works on people. Now another explanation for what I just described could be that he's has such a sociopathic personality, that he doesn't want people getting better, and we already know that that's the case, because they would be a threat to him, right? So he might believe in Scientology, he might believe it's all true, but he's purposefully keeping everybody down and holding the whole thing back because he's afraid of them coming after him. That's an alternative explanation as well, which works. I think either way, you end up with a situation where Scientology's dying, not thriving, because its leadership is just flat out bananas. So I don't know. Maybe in a way the question is moot. Maybe it really doesn't matter whether he believes in it or not. I have heard from Mike Rinder and other people who worked with Miscavige directly that he does believe in it, that he was, deathly afraid of body thetans jumping onto him from other people and stuff. And I kind of thought, well, all right, so that's what kind of got me thinking maybe it's choice number 2 that I just described, right, as to why he's holding the whole thing back. I don't know. in the end, since I never really interacted with him personally enough to really be able to answer the question, everything I'm saying about it is pretty much conjecture, but that's the best conjecture I can give you.